word to help us to get our day started. We got the one and only Bishop Joseph Walker, Senior Pastor of Mount Zion Missionary Baptist Church, Nashville, Tennessee. Bishop, good morning.
Good morning, Ricky, and good morning to everybody. We thank God for all of you all listening. Cardi know he can sing that song. Lord, do it for me. Today, as we get this week started, I want you to know God is doing it for you. But you got to trust in the Lord with all of your heart and lean not to your own understanding and let the Lord direct your path. That's Proverbs 3, 5, and 6. And today, I just want you to trust God, even when you can't trace God. There are times in our lives where we find ourselves anxious and worried about whether or not we're going to get through what we're going through, particularly in times like now. With everything going on in the Middle East, and many of you have your own personal crises. You're like, Lord, I need you to do it for me. I need to know how am I going to get through what I'm dealing with. But can I tell you something? God has a plan, and he's going to guide you through it. It's just, do you trust him, even when you can't trace him? Imagine you're flying on a plane, going through a storm and turbulence, cabin is shaking, lightning is flashing through the plane, all this crazy stuff going on, and you wondering if you're going to get to your destination. Let me tell you something. In the cockpit, the pilot isn't panicking. You know why? Because he's in constant communication with air traffic control. And someone who sees what the pilot can't, the controller has the radar. The controller knows the flight path. The controller knows how to guide the pilot through the storm safely, through the clouds, onto the runway. The pilot may feel the pressure, but they trust the controller. That's how God is. He sees what we can't. And when life gets turbulent, we experience loss, uncertainty, confusion. It's tempting to feel like everything's out of control. But you got to trust that God, the ultimate air traffic controller, sees the whole picture. And can I tell you something? You're going to get through this. You're going to make it to your destination. And I want you to learn how to give God glory. Let that bless you. I'm Bishop Joseph Walker III, Mount Zion Church, Nashville, Tennessee. Follow me on Instagram at Joseph Walker 3. That's Joseph Walker 3. You were listening to the Rickey Smiley Morning Show.
News headlines,
entertainment, sports. It's the front page on the Rickey Smiley Morning Show.
All right, y'all, Rickey Smiley Morning Show got your front page right here. Alfreda's good morning.
Good morning. It's Monday, June 23rd. Here's what's going on in the news. Just one day before the U.S. bombed Iran's nuclear facilities, Donald Trump publicly called out his own director of national intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard. Listen.
What intelligence do you have that Iran is building a nuclear weapon? Your intelligence community has said they have no evidence that they are at this point.
Well, then my intelligence community is wrong. Who in the intelligence community said that?
Your director of national intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard.
She's wrong.
Wow. Less than 24 hours after Trump said this, U.S. forces alongside Israel launched airstrikes on 3 of Iran's nuclear sites. Now, here's the deal. Gabbard had just testified months ago that Iran was not building a nuclear weapon. Meanwhile, President Trump is now hinting at the possibility of regime change in Iran. In a Truth Social post yesterday, he wrote, quote, "If the current Iranian regime is unable to make Iran great again, why wouldn't there be a regime change?" But earlier in the day, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth gave a very different take, saying, quote, "This mission was not and has not been about regime change." So 2 conflicting messages just hours apart. And here's the deal. Don't think this will not touch us here at home. Iran's right by the Strait of Hormuz. That's where a big chunk of the world's oil moves through. If things get messy there, gas prices here could spike fast. As a matter of fact, it's already happening. That summer road trip might cost a whole lot more. And when fuel prices jump, so does the price of everything else. Flights, groceries, even shipping. So yeah, what's going down overseas is definitely going to end up hurting your wallet right here. For info on these stories and more, go to RickeySmileyMorningShow.com. Now, here's a look at sports.
Rock T, the sports genius, is in the building.
The Thunder have taken the NBA by storm. For the first time, the NBA champion resides in Oklahoma City. The storybook season is complete.
Yes. And I'm still on my way back from losing my voice, but I'm almost back, guys. Almost there. Oklahoma City Thunder, 2025 NBA champions. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander wins finals MVP. Listen, man, it was a great series. Tyrese Halliburton injured his Achilles yesterday. That's the Pacers' best player. But, hey, next man up. It is what it is, man. And if you have been under a rock, Kevin Durant traded to the Houston Rockets for Jalen Green, Dylan Brooks, plus 10th pick in this year's NBA draft and 5 second-round picks. This is a win-now situation for the Houston Rockets, so they went and got KD. He still got a little bit left in the tank, so we're going to find out what happens with that situation. Shout out to LSU baseball squad. They win their 8th Men's College World Series. Indeed. Shout out to the Tigers out there. It's my quick sports report. Briggity Tat got the hot spot up next. What's going on? It's the Rickey Smiley Morning Show.
The hot spot. Drop it like it's hot. Drop it like it's hot.
So hot. And that's hot. You can catch me at the hot spot. It's the BR18.
All right, y'all, Rickey Smiley Morning Show. It's time for the hot spot. Brent, what up?
What up, Ricky? Good morning, everybody. I'm your girl, Brat Tat Tat, and this is the hot spot where we bring you music, movies, and more. So let's get off into it. Chris Brown was back in court this past Friday morning, and he had to answer to a charge related to his alleged 2023 incident at a London club. He pleaded not guilty to attempting to cause grievous bodily harm for allegedly hitting Abraham Diaz with a bottle back in February 2023. This case is set to resume on July 11th with the trial scheduled for October 26, 2026. In the meantime, Chris Brown continues on his Breezy Bowl World Tour, which has been doing amazing, and I've been seeing so many things from it, and these women are going crazy, and I hear the show is absolutely astounding. So congratulations to Chris Brown, and we're going to keep him in our prayers when it comes to all this court case stuff. All right, y'all, moving on. Cardi B has dropped her new single where she is maybe taking shots at somebody. She had been teasing the song for a while, and snippets on social media went viral with fans begging her to drop the new song. So let's just say she definitely spoke her mind, and check out what she had to say.
Okay.
Oh,
I like it.
yes.
Like it.
Come on, Cardi B. Yes, I can't wait to hear the whole project. She said she got an announcement to make. She posted something yesterday and said she had an announcement to make. So let's just see what that announcement is. We are waiting. All right, y'all, we're going to wrap up the hot spot on that note. Before more information on these stories and more, you can go to RickeySmileyMorningShow.com, and you can catch me on all my social media at Brat. Coming up next, we got Rock T's Joke of the Day. The time now is 26 minutes before the top of the hour. It's the Rickey Smiley Morning Show.
All right, y'all, ladies and gentlemen, it is about that time. Yes, sir, for Rock T's Joke of the Day. Let's go.
Why did the football coach go to the bank?
Why?
To get his quarterback. Come on, Rick.
Yeah. I feel it, though.
He went to the bank to get that quarterback.
To get his quarterback. I feel it.
It's my quarterback. It's my quarterback.
Yeah. Special K.
Come on, dog.
Brat.
Hello.
Alfreda's. Brat. Gary.
No. It was cute.
Come on. Here.
Do you know what a quarterback is, Gary? What does the quarterback do on the football field, Gary?
Hell, he run the ball, huh?
Now ask
he
him
throw the ball.
Oh, well, I knew he did something with the ball.
Now ask him what a tight end does.
Oh, wow.
Just tell him, Gary, a tight end is a receiver.
Oh.
Says tight end what?
He's a receiver.
Really?
Yeah.
All right, baby.
What'd you say, Gary?
All right, baby. That's a cute position.
All right, Special K, what you got coming up next?
Ooh, it's time for a little toxicity in the morning. That's right. Man Law Monday coming up next. Rickey Smiley Morning Show.
Special K, good morning. What you got for us?
Hey, good morning. It's never too early for a big bowl of steaming hot, toxic masculinity. That's right.
That's what they call it.
That's what they call it. And we also call it Man Law Monday. So I need all males age 13 and above. You got a hair under your arms. Pay attention, all right? Even if you got them starter hairs under your arms.
Especially Super Day. You got all them posters of EJ.
Wait a minute now.
Up in the sports room.
We ain't gonna do Super Dave like that. He only got one poster. Don't act like he got a bunch of them. He got one. All right. So here we go. Let's start with this one. This is gonna be okay. So this is a standard one. When you're wearing dress clothes, your belt need to match your shoes. Some of y'all don't know how to do that. I seen the dude.
But who around here still tucking their shirt in though?
I'm saying if you got on a suit. Now, if you got on a suit.
Yeah.
I'm saying men need to know that. Now, here's another one that's going to be a little controversial. If you out cheating with another man's wife, Don't pull her chair out at a restaurant or kiss her in the mouth when y'all saying goodbye. That's too much.
What?
Yeah, that's a rule. Yeah. If you're cheating with another man's wife, you really shouldn't kiss her in the mouth at any point because that's taking it too far. Now, if you're just gonna smash, just smash, but don't kiss her in the mouth. That's disrespectful. Now you're just going over the line. Now you're doing too much.
Right.
Yeah, now you're doing too much. Now, if you gotta keep your eyes closed the whole time, Alfreda. Now, if you're fighting another man and he punch you in your chest real hard, you can't say hold up because he don't owe it to you to let you get yourself together.
That's right. That's a fact.
What if you can't? Yeah, you can't say hold up. You can't be like, oh, wait a minute, let me catch my breath. No, that ain't how that works.
You're right about that.
Now, if you have to share a hotel room with another man and you got to take a shower, the other man got to go downstairs for at least an hour.
Facts.
Yeah.
At least an hour. Like, not 30 minutes.
Or you
gotta
take all your stuff in there and go ahead and get dressed in the bathroom.
No, I don't even want you in the room when I'm 13 feet away from you butt naked. No, sir. All right.
Can't do it.
If you are male identical twins, you cannot wear matching outfits beyond the age of 10.
You can't, man. You better talk to them because they sure be doing it. Grown-ass men.
If you are male identical twin. No, I saw some identical twin. I'm not even lying. I did a show Friday night, and I was up in Newark, New Jersey, and there was some identical twins in there, and they had to be in their 30s. And they had on matching. It was the most disturbing thing.
Their mama said, y'all make sure y'all stay together. They still
Rick,
their mama.
Rick, I was thrown off because I was looking at them trying to see if they was, maybe a little delayed, but It was it was the most disturbing thing ever. Don't do that.
This little 3-year-old girl told one twin, she said, y'all got the same face.
What the hell is wrong with y'all?
What scares me the most about marriage is the fact that men and women don't even look at marriage the same way. When women talk about marriage, it's a happy occasion. I'm getting married, I got my ring, I got my picked out, I got 4 of my fat friends to stand next to me. It's gonna be a beautiful day. No, their dress is ugly, mine is pretty. But it's not the same for the men. When men talk about marriage with our friends, it sounds like something you get diagnosed with. Did you hear what happened to Charles? No, what? He's getting married. No! I just seen him last week. When did he find out? He told him yesterday at dinner. Is there anything that we could do for him? No, the invitations already went out. There's nothing we can do.
Okay, who is that?
That's comedian Drew Thomas.
Oh, that's funny as hell.
Hold it! He's half man, half woman. It's Gary. I wanna hip you to the T. It's Gary, baby.
Gary has the T and the color of the day. Gary.
Good morning, Ricky. Good morning, America. Good morning, New York. It's Monday, a beautiful, beautiful day in the neighborhood. And here's what's happening in celebrity news, y'all. Oprah Winfrey, the queen of media, Bishop T.D. Jakes, the king of gospel and pastoral and all that other wonderful stuff, y'all, is speaking out, y'all. And a lot of people are saying, y'all, they're wondering why they're doing this, and they're speaking out regarding Diddy, y'all. And here's what the great Oprah had to say.
I have never been near a puff party. And anybody who knows me knows if there is a party, I'm the first one out. Right. I'm the first one out.
I stopped by Puffy's house for 30 minutes to say happy birthday to him during the day at 2 o'clock.
Yes, they are speaking out, baby. They say they ain't never been to a puff party. Oprah said, honey, if she would have been out, she'd have been the first to be out. And the bishop said he stopped by the mansion for just 30 minutes. And a lot of people are saying 30 minutes is a long time to stop by and say happy birthday to somebody and stuff. So, I mean, it's kind of a sad situation because, I mean, Diddy is going through all this. And at one point, I'm sure Diddy was friends or associates with these people, and they always chit-chatting and chewing at one point together. Not everybody is going up against us, and they ain't never been in his house, and they only stop by for 30 minutes or whatever. I don't think that's a good look.
Yeah, they probably just being supportive, didn't know that he had all of that other stuff going on and stuff, and just stopped by just to show support. I don't think Bishop Jakes was involved with any of that stuff. Personally,
no, they weren't involved probably in something, but the point that I'm getting, what bothers me is, which I've always said, to me it feels like you're kicking a dog when it's down. Regardless, honey, if you did stop by for 30 minutes or if you ain't never been by the thing, honey, I mean, I don't think that should have to be justified. If I was your friend, I should be your friend until the end. You don't have to go out and justify nothing to nobody.
Well, the internet attacked them just for anybody that's been associated with it has been attacked on the internet as if they committed some crimes or something.
And exactly, but it's just sad though, honey. When you think people your friends, I mean, but yeah, and they did have to speak out. But I mean, I don't know. I'll
be the first one to leave a party too. I'm talking about when and I don't say bye. I don't say goodbye. I'll blend in with the wallpaper and slide out of there.
Exactly.
I done got behind some curtains and climbed up the curtains, went down the curtain rod, and snuck out on the other side of the woman.
Facts.
I tell you, it's like escaping Alcatraz. I know how to get the hell up out of a situation.
I done seen it many times.
The minute I see somebody I don't like, I can't stay in the same. We could be at the Dallas Cowboys Stadium. If I look across and see somebody I don't like, I'm out of there.
Yeah, you did it at your own photo shoot.
I sure did.
I noticed.
Boy, they bought what's the name in there with her mean ass?
She wasn't even on the same floor. She was on the first floor. We was on 11. You said,
Oh no, I get the hell up out of there.
I think you climbed out the window and scaled down the side of the building.
A whole photo shoot. Alfredo, a whole photo shoot.
Right.
We still ain't seen them pictures.
Yeah, they did a whole photo shoot in the same place we did the last photo shoot for the morning show.
Yeah.
But when I heard that, and Brat be looking out. Brat be like, girl up here, right? Just give me a heads up.
Alfredo, he climbed out the window and scaled down the side of the building with a rope.
13 stories.
Yes, Lord. Yes, Jesus.
Spider-Man down the side of that building.
Nobody knows who you are.
Not the electric company.
Come on now.
My glory, honey. Well, I'm glad that all changed and everything is beautiful now and we're just a happy family, y'all. All right, my final story, y'all. Everybody's excited about this. It's official, y'all. That Offset is officially dating Sky Marlene, y'all. She's the ex-girlfriend and baby mama of NFL star Stephon Diggs, y'all. They say who just so happened to be rumored the new boo of Cardi B. Offset's now not quite ex-wife, whatever they mess with that, honey. But they're saying that everybody's saying that they're happy and excited. And Offset performed this past weekend, if I'm not mistaken, at the birthday bash, and everybody's raving this. So, y'all, congratulations to these people.
Beautiful. She's very pretty.
Yeah, it's amazing how
you said the birthday. It's just birthday bash.
Oh, birthday bash.
Not the birthday bash.
Birthday bash.
Birthday bash.
But it's amazing how these people get to stay in the same circle. Everybody just gets single, and then one person dates the ex person, another person, or what have you. I mean, it's amazing. They got all these women out here that can't get a man, and here these women could be up in this circle and just get a man and have no problems with it.
But when I tell you, they be trading like the draft.
Yes! That's what it looked like. So congratulations to them because everybody needs love, honey. So congratulations to this lovely couple. All right, the color today is one of my favorite colors. My color today, y'all, is Dove. On the high end, you say Dove, and on the low end, you say Beautiful Gray. That's your color for today.
All right, that's a beautiful color. Y'all give it up for Gary with the T. All right, Rick Smiley Morning, I got the wake up call. Get at me 8669-RICKEY. Here we go.
Wake up. It's time to get yourself together. Cause he woke you up this morning, slid you in your house shoes, so it would be better. Wake up. Encourage each other and be productive. The Rickey Smiley Morning Show. Wanna know you calling from, so come on, tell us and just wake up.
This is Gloria from the SIP. Would like to say happy birthday to my granddaughter. She's 9 today. Happy birthday. Wake up, because I know you was on that game all night.
I'm calling from Columbia, South Carolina. I want to wish my wife, Linda, a wonderful, blissful, beautiful birthday. And Ricky, keep it going, man. Wake up.
Yo, this is Kenny from Raleigh, North Carolina. I want to wake up my bro Jameer, a.k.a. DJ Royal, up in the 313. Wake up.
If you listening on your radio, it's a whole gang that's tuned in, locked in. What's yours? We gon' let them know. Come on, Huntsville, wake up. Chattanooga, wake up. And Shreveport, wake up. Wake up. Where you at, Jackson? Wake up. Savannah, wake up. And Charleston, wake up. Wake up.
Hey, man, we want to shout out to everybody in Buffalo, New York, listening to us this morning, y'all. Your wonderful program director up there. Thank y'all for having us. Buffalo, New York. Love you, man. Thinking about y'all. Thank y'all for making the Rickey Smiley Morning Show every morning. Gary, what you got coming up next?
All right, coming up next, y'all. You know, it's Monday, so it's time to expand your vocabulary with the word of the week next on the Rickey Smiley Morning Show.
Capital G, capital A, capital O, capital T.
B-I-C-T-H.
John. J-O-B.
E-L-G-S-E-S, Eagle! It's time for Gary's Word of the Week.
And you know this, man.
And y'all need to stop being so critical because we're trying to help you out.
Nah.
We're trying to expand your vocabulary, and y'all need to start being more supportive of Gary. It's about that time for the Word of the Week. And Gary's going to give us a new definition, give us a word and a definition of the song. Let us know how to use the word in a sentence. And Gary, let everybody know what way you're going to be expanding our vocabulary this week.
Thank you, Ricky. Now, y'all, this week's word is a great word, and I've said it before, and we've used it many times in, talking, whatever. But this week's word is obliterated, and it's a transitive verb, and it's pronounced obliterated.
No, but it's a transitive verb. You said transitive. It's a transitive verb.
Well, that's something else.
No, ain't what you said.
You get the word right and can't read the rest of the stuff.
Say it again.
Obliterated.
Yeah, you got that right.
That's why they had him in the FOM class.
And what kind of verb is it?
It's a transitive. It looked like it was something else, but it's a transitive.
Yes, there you go.
It's a transitive verb, y'all, and it's pronounced is it ob or ob?
Ob.
Oh. Obliterated.
Obliterated.
Obliterated, damn it. Why are you trying to correct me?
I'm just making sure you got it all the way right. To help these people that don't know the
word. You got the word right. Still can't read the rest of the stuff. That's what's got me this morning.
Don't make no doggone sense.
On the damn day you get the word right, you can't read the rest of the stuff.
Whatever. I think there's some trickery there. But anyway, I'm going to give y'all the definition of... Yeah, some trickery.
Oh, no.
The definition, y'all, of this beautiful word, there
we go. It's going downhill. Brat,
obliterated.
Y'all, hold on. The screen machine is going downhill. It was going up. It was going chicken down.
Anyway, here's the definition, Ricky. The definition is to utterly destroy, wipe out, and erase all traces of having existed. Now, here's an example how you could use it in a sentence. This word of the week this word of the week segment has completely obliterated any thoughts that Gary with the T legitimately obtained a college degree.
Now, read that sentence again, Gary.
This word of the week segment has completely obliterated any thoughts that Gary with the T legitimately obtained a college degree. What that mean? I got a college degree.
What do you let him know where you, because I think that was real disrespectful. Let him know where you graduated from, Gary.
I graduated from Northwood University in the beautiful Dallas, Texas, honey. Google it.
And what was your major?
What?
Was it an accredited school?
It was accredited, but it's not around no more, buddy. It was accredited.
They don't exist no more?
I think they still in Michigan.
I think you put them out of business.
Not in Dallas anymore.
That says it all. That says it all right there. Yes, sir. Y'all give it up for Gary with the C. All right, y'all, you heard it. The word of the week is obliterated.
Say it again, Ricky.
Obliterated.
What's the word of the week?
I just talked all that trash I can't say.
Okay. You're just right next to Gary's in that classroom.
Hey, I'll tell you, I was in special class in math. I was in there.
We ain't shame.
I ain't gonna lie.
Don't try to play it off. Say the word.
Hey, but the school is still here, so y'all better leave Gary alone. I looked it up.
Okay. Nah, she's still
still
around.
waiting on Ricky to say the word.
Come on, Ricky, one more again.
I I can say it. I get tongue twisted.
Nah.
Obliterated.
If my man Clay, I'm going to call him Clay.
Chicken and waffle mix. Hey, what up, Black Tony?
What up, Rick? Man.
Come on, man. It's Monday, bro.
I know, son. And this is Monday. I thought I was going. I did the Monday. I really believe I was going to be there too, and I would have had been there too, if not for just one thing what went wrong. Just one thing, cause I'm always trying to do something for my family. And I told my
sister, family about to get you messed up with a job.
I know. That's what I'm talking about. See that, and it's always like that. It's always your family what mess you up when you got good intention. Because I thought I was going to be there. Freedom.
Yeah.
I thought I was going to be there today.
I was
and I'm still trying to make it, but kids play too much. That's what's wrong right now. Kids ain't raised right, and they play too much.
What happened?
Cause my other sister, I got my one sister, but then I got my other sister. My one sister, she a stud. But then I got my other sister where ain't no stud, but she got kids. Right. She got 6 kids, and two of them twin kids. 2 of my sisters is kids, twin like babies. Okay. They not babies. They're like 4. One on 4 and one on 5, but they twins. Cause it's a long story. But look.
Yeah.
So I'm babysitting for them because I'm supposed to get on the summer camp this morning. And I told her, I got to go to work tomorrow. And she said, okay, just get down on the little van and come pick them up at summer camp. Because they got behavioral problems. So they ride on this little van with got seatbelts and cages in it, right? But listen, Shawty, that's not neither here nor there. I'm not judging nobody, but what I'm saying is
seatbelt and cages. Yeah,
on cage on the window because they be trying to clam out the window. Well, that's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about, that's not even really the part. But what I'm talking about is she dressed them up alike. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know how your twin girl be dressing alike? Could they be cute? Okay, these children, they do the same thing, but they not cute though. They really not cute children. But she put them in cute outfits. Anyway, Shawty, that's neither here nor there. What happened was, I'm ready to take them out to the van this morning. We go outside. I tell them to go outside. I go inside to get my water bottle because I'm supposed to be drinking water. That's not neither here nor there, though. So what happened, they got on camouflage outfit. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, they got on camouflage. These children done went and stood in the grass and shouted, I can't find them now because they standing out in the bushes and they being real still. And they know I got to go to work. So I've been out here looking for these children for a whole hour. So
and see that stuff will have you calling like an Amber Alert.
Exactly. And I know they out here because I just had seen them. And I said, y'all need to move around so I can see y'all. And they just being still. And I heard one of them sniggling when I had turned my back. And that's how I know they still out here in these damn bushes. That's why I can't find them. I'm so stressed out right now. Because I can't just leave these children.
Call their mama. Call their mama.
Her phone off.
Call their grandmama. Where your grandmama?
Their grandmama is my mama.
Well, where your mama at?
She in Biloxi. She down there gambling. She won't be back till tomorrow.
Oh, my God.
Can I just come tomorrow? Can I just come tomorrow, please?
Hey, you promise you come tomorrow, man. What, if you promise, what you putting it on? Are you putting it on your mama?
No, I put it on my grandmama and my great grandmama. You know, cause my great grandmama, her birthday on Wednesday, so you know, I'm not gonna lie on her.
Oh. Okay, and you promise you're coming tomorrow?
Yeah, my great grandmama, she turned 48. Yep. So please.
Your great grandma turned 48.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Bye, Black Tony. Bye.
Look at all the nice looking ladies. Ladies, don't you hate when you meet a man, then he bring his friends around and the friends look better than him? Be like, where was y'all when I met this ugly motherfucker?
Hilarious.
Hold it! He's half man, half woman. It's Gary. I wanna hip you to the T. It's Gary, baby.
All right, the Rickey Smiley Morning Show. It is 5 minutes after the hour. Gary has the tea and the color of the day. Gary, good morning.
Good morning, Ricky. Good morning, America. Good morning to you. It's Monday, a beautiful, beautiful day in the neighborhood. And here's what's happening in celebrity news, y'all. People are questioning our former first lady and some things that she said recently on the podcast. Now, people are saying, y'all, is Michelle Obama pulling a Jada Pinkett Smith? Now, they're saying that some social media people think so, but they said, you know, it's people really wonder what's going on now. Former First Lady, I should say, Michelle Obama, they say she's always been known, y'all, for her grace, her honesty, and her vulnerability, whether in her best-selling memoir, Becoming, or her Netflix specials, or most recently, her podcast, y'all, The Light Podcast, and new spinoff of I Am, in my opinion. They say, but after a few candid remarks about her marriage and family life, they say some people are wondering, y'all, is Michelle, y'all, on a slow Jada Pinkett track, honey? Now, they say if you're thinking differently, they say, wait a minute now, what does Jada Pinkett Smith have to do with this? Now, they're saying, here's a quick refresher. Now, Jada Pinkett Smith, her Red Table Talk became infamous, for her its deep dives into her relationship with Will Smith, from entanglements to her therapy sessions. And they say while many people applaud her openness, others felt, y'all, that she overshared, honey, to some points where her husband's public image, y'all, took a hit, especially after that Oscar moment, when Will went through all that madness, y'all. But they're saying now, honey, that people are talking about our former First Lady Michelle Obama, because she did a recent interview, y'all, with Angie Martinez in there, saying during that lighthearted conversation about parenting and gender roles, Ms. Martinez joked that Miss Michelle Obama should have thrown a boy in the mix, because we know she have 2 daughters. And, honey, she said, quote, I'm so glad I didn't have a boy, honey. She said, adding, because, honey, he would have been a Barack Obama. Now, they're saying that the room chuckled about it, honey, and, she was, people saying, but a baby Barack would have been amazing, to which Michelle shot back, oh, no, honey. She said, I wouldn't have felt for him, honey, at all. And people saying that the tone may have been casual and humorous, but some people saying, y'all, she throwing shade at her husband. But it came back to say, people saying that she was only trying to say, y'all, that, first of all, having a male, it would have been kind of hard for me, being a black male in this world, and, some of the things, that the president went through, demanding that raising a boy like the president might have been not about her husband's work as a man or a father. So, they said that Michelle and Jada comparison says more about how the public views women's honesty than about what either woman is actually saying. When men joke about marriage, they're saying it's relatable, but when women do it, they're saying it's scorched earth. So that double standard deserves just as much attention, y'all, as anything else, honey, as offhand remarks on a podcast. So she's not saying that it's bad that she would want to have a boy because of, her husband or whatever, anything like that, but she, it's just hard for young black males.
She has a sarcastic sense of humor, too.
Yeah.
She says a lot of funny things about Barack
so damn
Obama.
Lost. I don't know what the hell you just talking about.
I know, he gave way too much detail.
Well, no,
I'm lost.
if y'all...
Commercial going off in your head, Ricky?
I'm lost as hell, like... That damn ADHD kicked in, boy.
About 16 minutes in.
Me too for a minute.
You ain't doing
Man, damn.
That was about a 19-minute report.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
The whole damn tongue broke off.
You are not alone.
Y'all just have to pray and y'all need to listen.
We was listening up till about 12 minutes in.
Yeah, well, I feel bad.
I picked them up on the store. Scrolling. Got on
I got a bag of nuts. I started eating some nuts.
You ate some nuts?
And everybody know Brat don't like nuts.
All right, baby.
I like walnuts, pecans,
All right, honey.
Brazil nuts,
Oh, that's all right.
peanuts, almonds,
Well, pass me some, honey.
cashews.
I like nuts too. Pass me some, baby. I'll share with you. We can share together,
Man,
family
go-
that pray together,
Man,
stay together.
Go
Moving
to the next
on,
story so
speaking
we can do the
of-
gospel segment for tomorrow.
Yeah. In other celebrity news, y'all. Now, I hope y'all listening because this is a very sad story, y'all, and we all are praying, honey, y'all. It's being reported, y'all, that Tyler Perry is facing some renewed scrutiny, y'all, as a new lawsuit and resurfaced claim, y'all, bringing his personal life into the public spotlight. Now, they're saying that the media mogul known for building an entertainment empire and portraying the iconic Madea character is now the subject of a lawsuit, y'all, filed by a former male actor who alleges inappropriate behavior on the set of one of Perry's productions. Now, the lawsuit, honey, though they say still ongoing and unproven in court, has reignited y'all long-running speculations about Mr. Perry's sexuality and triggered y'all some widespread conversations across social media, y'all. And a lot of people saying, y'all, that, this guy, honey, is... People are continually bringing up and saying certain things about Tyler Perry, which it really bothers me, because my thing is this, honey, why would you say stuff like this? Now, this man gave you a job and he tried to help you, and my thing is Tyler Perry, honey, has a child, and kids grow up to be adults, honey, and they get to read all this stuff in social media that people putting out like that, and my thing is, excuse me, this guy is suing for millions of dollars, which people say, I mean, how could that even be... how could that even happen, first of all, or whatever? And my thing is this, honey, they just need to be quiet and just hold on, because, you know, people always speculating that people will come up with a lawsuit and say all kind of crazy things about a person, honey, if you don't get what you want. So I always felt that I thought celebrities would make people sign is it NDAs or MBAs? NDAs and stuff like that. Look like if you working on the job and stuff, you need to sign NDA and stuff like that. Do those things not hold up like they used to, or what's the deal? Because you putting out stuff like that, honey, false things about people allegedly.
We're living in an age of lawsuits, accusations, revelations. Everybody trying to, you know, come up. Everybody trying to get that money. Man, we living in a crazy time.
Well, I guess we are though. But anyway, we're gonna keep all parties lifted up in prayer, and we're gonna see, honey, and it's just, you know,
I don't know what to say, do it, Brat.
Sure don't. Shoot, we still ain't caught up.
Well, we so lost.
They said close out.
Well, that what you said in my ear. Well, y'all just need to
tie a
pray,
rope
honey.
around his neck.
Well, anyway, y'all, before we close out, honey, I want to give a shout out, y'all, to my hometown of Port Arthur, Texas. To those who don't know, I want to give a shout out to our former mayor, Mr. Thurman Bill Barty, and our city manager, Mr. Ron Burton, y'all, on me receiving the key to the city on last week. So I received my key to the city of Port Arthur, Texas. So, honey, I joined the ranks of Mr. Rickey Smiley and some of them other ones who got keys. So I have my key, and I'm going to take my key, honey, and I'm going to open up everything that I've always wanted to open up in Port Arthur.
They give you a damn key for what you do.
Baby, I do a lot of things, honey, trying to make no error. But anyway, so
you won't loan $5 to Goodwill, boy.
Right. Just keep me in prayer. So give a shout out to them, y'all, honey, to the wonderful people in Portland, and my colleagues, those who received the key, Bun B and Mr. Fred, honey, all of them got keys to the city. So congratulations to them. All right, the color today, honey, is one of my favorite colors. My color today, y'all, is Dove. And are y'all listening?
No.
Yeah, we listen.
We here.
Okay. On the high end, you say Dove, and on the low end, you say Beautiful Gray. That's your color for today.
That's a beautiful color. Y'all
Thank
give it
you.
up if you would for Gary with the T, if you would.
Yes.
If you would.
Yes.
All right. Appreciate that, Gary.
Did you see that post?
People are talking.
Here's what's trending on the Rickey Smiley Morning Show.
All right, y'all, Rickey Smiley Morning Show. With college students returning home for summer break, many parents are wondering how to best support their adult children throughout life transitions.
In fact, Ricky, at least 25% of parents provide financial support for children over the age of 30. Some parents may set strict boundaries while others struggle to draw a line in the sand.
So our money experts are now throwing this back to share tips to help our young, adult children with their financial decisions. Janai, we happy to have you back. Good morning.
Good morning. Happy Money Monday, everybody.
Yes, sir. And Janai, as parents, it's hard for it's hard for parents to watch their adult children go through hard times. But what should parents consider before agreeing to help?
Well, you know what, Ricky, I appreciate you asking the question because I think a lot of times as parents, we just automatically want to say yes. And I think we need a period of time where we need to kind of step back and say, wait a minute, how is this decision going to impact us? Are we robbing our children from an opportunity to learn how to solve problems? And how does this impact us financially? Ricky, I talk to a lot of parents who can't do a lot of things that they want to do because they're supporting their adult children, not their little babies, not even their teenagers, but their adult children. So again, let's make sure we're taking the time to consider what the consequences are before we automatically say yes to these kids.
Janai, what limits should parents set after agreeing to help out an adult child with their finances?
Well, Brat, I think it's really important that we treat this like business and have terms. So instead of us, again, thinking about them like they're our little kids, what are the payment terms? Is this a one-time help or is this an ongoing monthly help? Also, Brad, I think it's really important that we have this in writing so we have absolute clarity. So we don't want people to forget, what we agreed to, what the terms are. But let's take our time and lay this out because ultimately we want our children to be financially independent, productive members of society.
Come on now.
So let me ask you, because this hits home for me because my husband is always a yes and I'm always a no. What advice do you have for parents who don't agree on how much they should or shouldn't help their adult children?
Well, it's really important that we do not allow our kids at any age to play us. And, our kids will know who to go to first, because they may have a better shot with dad versus mom or vice versa. So number one, as somebody with 2 adult children, my children are 30 and 34. I am married. I'm not going to allow my children to come between me and my husband. So I want to make sure that he and I are on the same page first. Now, if he and I don't agree, I want to understand why he thinks the way that he does versus I'm right and he's wrong. Well, let me have kind of a better understanding of what it is. Because normally my husband is going to be the one to say no, but now because we have 2 sons, I'm clear on what he's trying to do. He wants them to be financially independent and stand on their own 2 feet. But again, take the time and have the conversation, but don't be sneaking behind, hooking your kids up, because that certainly does not help.
Right.
Our kids will play us for sure. They will play us.
So, Janai,
Lord.
my stepdaddy didn't know I was on my mama insurance until I was 46. And that caused a problem between them.
Your mama still with your stepdaddy?
Yeah, they're still together.
Oh, man.
Listen, 46.
Yeah. Is that too old to be on her car insurance?
Listen, was he mad when he found out?
Yeah, he was a little heated.
Oh, my God.
Anyway, go ahead on.
Janai, is there any other financial information that we should be sharing with our adult children? What?
What is
No, I
happening?
thought his mama was still with Dwight.
No, they were just messing around.
Are you?
Y'all so crazy. So, Brat, one thing that I think is really important that we realize for those of us who do support our adult children is this whole notion of cutting them off. Because, you hear people about cutting them off, putting their kids out, and I suggest maybe we consider stepping them down. And if you're providing support, be clear on how long it's going to last. It could be something as small as their cell phone or something as big as you're helping them pay their rent. What are the terms? But consider that, again, have all of that in writing. And then, yes, we should be encouraging our children to learn how to manage their own money, to be financially self-sufficient and independent. So don't just allow them just to be in your house, on the phone all the time playing video games. What are they doing so they can really step themselves up? Because ultimately, we don't want to be taking care of them. We don't want them on our insurance when they're 46 years old. We don't want that to happen.
So,
I'm just saying, I wish my son would come and live with me, man. He is so freaking helpful.
Oh,
like
so
he
you're
is
the
really,
yes guy. You're going to be the yes guy.
Really, but I mean, he don't never ask for money. He said, "Dad, do you have any work for me to do?" And I would have paid somebody else to do some of that stuff anyway. So I let him. He'll drive he'll drive home and let him come home and make money. Let him, and meet me at the house, and we work together in New York. He make his little money that he trying to, and it'd be for like to buy books and stuff. And I just have a son and a daughter that I really, really wish. That I live with where they could save some money because they're really good in the house and they don't cause any problems.
Love that.
Right. And Ricky, I don't have an issue with our adult children living with us provided that there's a plan. And even when you talk about your kids coming home to save money, I think that's a great idea. But even I would have them still pay you rent, and you can save that money for them when they're getting ready to go.
Right.
But they just can't be in the house as grown-ups, and they're not contributing to the household. That doesn't make any sense. But a lot of these kids need a period of time, but when do they come, and when is their expected departure date, so we're all on the same page?
Right. So at what age should we start teaching our kids about money? Like what?
I say right away. And what I mean by that is, little kids, I'm not talking about like our babies, but, when our kids are in elementary school, kids understand money because they understand what they want. They want us to buy things. That is the perfect time for us to make sure that we are exposing them to money. I think I got a lot of help. My mom was a single parent, and every week when my mom sat down to pay her bills, I had to sit with her. When my mom went to go get her taxes done, she took me with her. When my mom went to go buy a car, she took me with her. So the more we can expose them, the earlier that we can expose them, dealing with money becomes more normal. If we don't teach them when they're young, how in the world do we expect, now that they're teenagers or young adults, for them to be able to make it out here? Even when we don't have our stuff together, we need to expose them. A lot of parents are hiding because they know that their financial life isn't perfect. Of course it's not, but still engage and involve your children.
Yeah. Hey, Special K, didn't your mama ex-boyfriend Dwight used to help y'all with y'all finances?
He did. He was good with money, but he.
Why did
he
they?
wasn't.
I don't want to put a
So
business on radio,
confused.
but I know they not. I didn't know that they wasn't together no more.
Yeah, well, I mean, they still friends though. They still talk.
So Dwight is the boyfriend, but she's still with
Ex-boyfriend.
Yeah, ex.
Because when we started doing comedy together, his mama used to bring, Dwight used to bring Special K mama to all the comedy shows.
Yeah.
Oh.
And stuff. And he knew all the comedians. He was real nice.
He's dressed like he always
Probably
was
like
real
7
coordinated.
to
All
8
his
years.
clothes used to match.
8 years older than us.
Oh. Wait a minute.
Janai, no,
That's
go ahead.
neither here
What
nor
is-
there.
Y'all are crazy.
Yes, sir. Rickey Smiley, boy, I'm so talented. Well, I'm talented.
Oh, Lord.
Talented, man. Just talented. Play the harmonica, play the trumpet, the baritone, the French horn. Can play one scale on the tuba, piano, organ, man. Just God.
And the kazoo.
And the kazoo. Yes, sir. Yeah, let me see. I got one. Hold on. Let me play it.
Man, please give us a little something today.
All right, now. All right, it's Money Monday, and finance expert Janai Thornton is back to answer all of your financial questions. 866-9-RICKEY. 866-9-RICKEY. Let's go to the phones right now. Good morning.
It's not a child, but a family member that's bleeding you dry and making you feel guilty to loan them money. But now you are in a financial struggle because you're helping them.
Hey, good morning. You know what? No matter how people are related to us, we have to learn how to say no. You know, and how do we end up in a situation where we think we're helping somebody, now we're in a bad position? So, you know, my godmother has a saying, at the end of the day, someone's going to be mad and it's not going to be me. And I think it's really important that you set your boundaries. You know what your budget is. Be okay with saying no.
How about you train them? You train people not to even ask.
Come on now.
You see what I'm
I've
saying?
heard Brat talk about that. I think Brat's real good at dealing with folk, too, with that, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. And they going to be mad, and they ain't gonna, but guess what? You ain't got to be bothered with them. They get mad and get an attitude because you say no or whatever.
Right.
You know, you work your butt off on your job, and then you can't get nobody to come. They want to use your car, but don't want to come help you wash it. Right. They ain't nobody finna bring you no Subway sandwich up to your job for lunch or nothing like that or anything on your behalf, or here go a cold towel or something just thinking about you, but they need something every time you get paid, but they not contributing what you have to go through for you to make the money that you make. Don't let people manipulate you. And they gonna say you mean. Let me tell you something. They real manipulative. Oh, they will generalize you and label you as mean and difficult and selfish and all that kind of stuff. Talk about you bad behind your back like a dog because you say no or whatever. And so and then when you ain't got nothing, you can't go to them for anything.
Nothing.
But nothing. All these lying, manipulating, entitled. Don't get me started on that. On play the rodeo. All right, let's go to the phone. You on with Janai Thornton. Good morning.
To know, after filing bankruptcy, how long will it take for you, like if you want to buy a house?
Hey, good morning. You know, I've seen people as in little as 2 years be able to buy, but typically it's like a 2 to 4 year period of time, and I think that's really good because it will give you some time to get your affairs and your finances in order. So I would set that goal for about that 2 year period of time, save money, and get yourself ready to make that major purchase.
All right, y'all, Janai Thornton. Good morning.
Yes, good morning. When saving, what do they mean by pay yourself first and then pay your bill?
Good morning. Thank you for that question. So how I treat paying myself first is I treat my savings like a bill. So I don't save after I pay all of my bills. My savings, like whatever amount that I'm going to do, I take care of that and then I pay my bills. Because what happens is if you save after you pay all your bills, you may not make as much of a commitment. So don't act like you have to do half of your check or 25% of your check, but push that savings amount up. Treat it just like a bill, like you pay your car insurance or buy groceries, pay your rent. Pay that first. Pay yourself first.
All right, you on with Janai Thornton. Good morning.
Yeah, at what age does she recommend having kids start their own credit?
for large purchases, meaning like cars, things like that. Assuming 16, but just curious.
Hey, good morning. Yeah, I do think between that 16 and 18 is a good time for young people to start building their credit. But please know your child, though, because you want to make sure that you're setting them up for success and you're not actually getting them in trouble. I think a great way to kind of slow roll that with kids is a secured credit card that will protect them from getting in trouble because they have to make a deposit. You know, if they have a $500 limit, they have to give $500 to the bank or the credit card company. So that way you don't have to worry about them missing a payment or getting, getting behind on anything. But again, a secure credit card is a great way to start.
I know that's right. Janai, and let everybody know how you can be followed if anybody have any type of financial question, tax question, or anything to do with money. Let everybody know how you can be reached on your social media.
You can always follow me at Jini Thornton. That's JINITHORNTON. That's social media, website, all social media channels. Happy Money Monday, everybody.
Hey, Janai, thank you so much. We love you. We appreciate you. And coming up, thank y'all for your phone calls. Coming up next, y'all Lion has the mix that'll stay in your head all day. Coming up next, Rickey Smiley Morning Show.
Rickey Smiley Morning Show, Jeff Johnson. 3 things that we all need to know. Good morning, Jeff.
Hey, good morning, y'all. How you feeling this morning?
Yeah, what up, Jeff?
What up, Jeff?
So listen, y'all, if we didn't know anything, we know that President Trump knows how to use the military. I think we saw this weekend that the U.S. military carried out an operation to use bombers to alleviate a nuclear threat in Iran. And I think before we even debate the constitutionality, the implications, I think we do have to admit that we got an efficient U.S. military, and this military operation was probably and arguably one of the most strategic and successful we've seen in quite some time. You had over 150 planes in the air, and you had targets in multiple areas from submarines to bombers. You had no U.S. military fired upon, no casualties, no errors, and what seems to be something that caught the Iranian government totally off guard because they didn't even scramble jets in any form of defense. And so if you respect the U.S. military, then this was a great military effort. Now, the question is, was it legal? And there's a great deal of debate when you talk about Article 2 and and what the president has the ability to do with or without Congress. Some of you may or may not know that there is clearly a article that outlines what the president has the ability to do. And I think that there's a distinction, and Kay, I'm interested in your thoughts here, that there's a difference between using the U.S. military and declaring war. Right. And I think that those in the Trump administration are saying that the president of the United States has the ability to use the military, and that in this case it was a one-off event that is not a declaration of war. And I'm curious what you think about that.
I mean, yeah, it wasn't a declaration of war per se, but there's also some thought that that Iran, that the targeted areas that Iran had already moved a lot of the materials away from those areas because they did have some prior knowledge that something like this might happen, and that Trump may have been using this as a somewhat of a distraction from his negative ratings and this big bad bill thing and the whole L.A. disaster. And there's a lot of, there's a whole wag the dog theory going on here that he may have been doing this to try to gin up some, hey, I'm really a tough guy. And our we all know our military is A1. That's never been a question. Our military is, the capability has never been in doubt. I just think that there's some other. To your point, we've seen this before. I mean, you've seen when we gave false intelligence information to justify an attack in Iraq. Exactly.
And whether it was about money, because wars create opportunity to spend, or whether it was, to your point, showing that you're a tough guy in the name of a number of political and social defeats. But we're here now. And I don't think that we are clear about the full implications of what Iran can do. There's a lot of conversation this morning about sleeper cells, about Iranians who are already in the country and in places where Americans are, that it may not be a military response, but it may be a terrorism response. And that is, I think, one of the real dangers of the moment is that we don't really know
and Jeff,
how. Yeah.
And your thought on this, when you have an administration that lies as much as this administration lies and isn't honest about anything that they say, how can you take anything official that they put out as having any kind of credibility as far as what was hit and what was successful and what was, because they lie every single day.
And we already saw that in the immediate response, right? I mean, you saw that the administration talked about that they had obliterated their nuclear capabilities, and then you heard from the Joint Chiefs that they had disabled their military capabilities. And so I agree with you there. I'm actually less concerned about what I hear an administration saying who I don't rely on, and I'm more concerned about an Iranian regime that, whether they are actually weak or not, has the ability to create real challenges, whether it's for Americans abroad or whether it's Americans here. And I think that is what we have to have some clarity on. And we don't know that. I don't care what the U.S. intelligence community says. You do not know what the supreme leader is going to do, nor do you know what those other Iranian factions are going to do in response to this attack. And this is still a larger geopolitical issue as it relates to our relationship with Israel. And what this means for us moving forward. So I don't profess to be a expert in international affairs and relations, nor do I profess to be an expert in the Middle East. And so I, in many cases, like many of you, are trying to gauge as much information as I can. But those are the things that I'm concerned with. And we've got to. This is a time that is going to be very interesting in the next week to see what happens. But I will say this before I get out of here, that in the midst of all of this, I continue to see and celebrate those of us that are doing amazing work. I'm in Cleveland. I've been here all weekend, and just big up to the NAACP here. I was here with Nicole Hannah-Jones, the author of 1619, and a sister, Tenora Mia, who did an amazing event here celebrating our folks, called the Black and Pink Gala. Loving how we keep supporting each other in the midst of all of this. And I'm sorry, the Pink and Black honors, just celebrating our folks. So y'all, wherever you are, keep doing what you're doing. In the midst of all this geopolitical reality, we still have the power to do things on a daily basis that impacts our lives. Right. Y'all, those are three things I got for you. Hit me at Jeff's Nation on IG. Love y'all. Talk to you.
Love you, Jeff. More Rickey Smiley Morning Show up next.
News headlines, entertainment, sports. It's the front page on the Rickey Smiley Morning Show.
All right, 26 minutes after the hour, y'all got your front page right here. Alfreda's good morning.
Good morning, Ricky. It's Monday, June 23rd. Here's what's going on in the news. Despite the U.S. Director of National Intelligence testifying months ago that Iran was not building a nuclear weapon, U.S. forces alongside Israel launched airstrikes on 3 of Iran's nuclear sites over the weekend. Yesterday, President Trump hinted at regime change in Iran, while Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth said the mission is not about regime change. And VP Vance said this.
Well, first of all, we don't want to achieve regime change. We want to achieve the end of the Iranian nuclear program, John. That's America's objective, and that's what the president has set us out to do.
Same day, 2 very different messages. Now, remember, Iran and Russia are tight. They trade military drones for nuclear support, and Iran's foreign minister just rushed to Moscow for emergency talks with Putin. Senator Marc Kelly told Meet the Press that this Middle East mess could trigger some serious fallout.
We could see terrorist attacks here. The Iranians still have a lot of proxies. They could go after us. The escalatory factor of this action that was taken yesterday is significant.
U.S. officials are warning about, obviously, possible cyber attacks, as he just said, and lone wolf threats here at home. Jeff Johnson hit on this a little bit earlier. Cyber hits can mess with banks, hospitals, pipelines, you name it. And things are escalating fast. Iran's parliament just gave the green light to possibly shut down the Strait of Hormuz, which is basically the gas station of the world. 1 out of every 5 barrels of oil moves through there. Oil prices already jumped 2% overnight, and Wall Street's feeling that heat. The market hates uncertainty. That means your 401k, your stocks, even your crypto could get shaky. Now, throw in July 4th travel, which is on track to smash records with over 72 million people packing up and heading out. Gas and flight prices are about to spike there. But it's even bigger than that, y'all. When a conflict involves major oil players like Iran, it can raise prices on everything from groceries to Uber. Plus, wars like this always turn into political ammo. Some leaders pump up the tough talk, as Special K mentioned earlier, while others slam the handling of it. Either way, the ripple effects hit home. For info on these stories and more, go to RickySmileyMorningShow.com. Now, here's a look at sports.
Rock T, the sports genius, is in the building.
The Thunder have taken the NBA by storm. For the first time, the NBA champion resides in Oklahoma City. The storybook season is complete.
Yes, it is, man. OKC, your 2025 NBA champion, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, wins the Finals MVP, as we already knew he would. Big up to OKC, man. A lot of people forgot that Oklahoma City came from the Seattle. They used to be the Seattle Supersonics, and they moved to Oklahoma and become the Thunder, man. So big ups to that victory right there, man. And if y'all been up under a rock, Kevin Durant has been traded, ladies and gentlemen, from Phoenix to the Houston Rockets for Jalen Green and Dylan Brooks, plus the number 10 pick in this year's draft and 5 second-round picks.
I don't understand none of this.
You don't understand why Kevin Durant keeps getting traded?
Yeah.
Well, he should have stayed at Golden State. That's where he should have stayed. Actually, he should have stayed in Oklahoma. Because remember, it was OKC. Remember, it was him and Harden.
Oh, yeah.
Man, come on, dog. Shoot.
But at least they got their program on the map.
Absolutely, man.
You know, put them on the map, so they were able to build from there.
Absolutely. But, man, can you imagine? Man, that could have had about 3 championships back then.
Yeah, I agree.
Big up
do you think it would have been a different game if Halliburton wouldn't have got hurt?
Oh, yeah. You talking about the Indiana? Oh, yeah. Yeah. I still think Oklahoma City
what quarter
would
was it when he got hurt, like the fourth quarter?
Nah, man, he got hurt early, like first quarter, beginning of the second quarter, something like that. It would have been a big difference. I still think OKC would have pulled it off, but it would have been a lot tighter. So we wish Tyrese Halliburton that doggone Achilles ain't no joke. So he may not even be back for the beginning of next season with that Achilles situation. So we'll see what happens, man. Shout out to LSU baseball squad. They win the 8th Men's College World Series championship as well over the weekend. That is my quick sports report. Brigadier Tat got the hot spot right now.
The hot spot.
Drop it like it's hot. Drop it like it's hot.
You can catch me at the hot spot. It's the BR18.
All right, 29 before the top of the hour. Time for the hot spot. What up, Brat?
What up, Ricky? Good morning, everybody. I'm your girl, Brat Tat Tat, and this is the hot spot where we bring you music, movies, and more. So let's get off into it. Excuse me. Congratulations are in order to Jesse Smollett, who is ready to build his family empire because he just got engaged. He announced the news with a picture he posted on Instagram this past Friday night. In the picture, you see him bending down on one knee, looking up to his partner, Jabari Red. Jesse popped a question on a city street right outside of a restaurant. The caption on the pics read, "I'll be spending my birthday with my fiance." He said yes. Jesse turned 43 this past Saturday. His fiance, Jabari Red, is an actor too. The couple starred together in last year's movie, The Lost Holiday, that Jabari starred, and also Jabari starred on The Chi last season. So congratulations again to Jesse Smollett and his partner, Jabari Red, on their engagement. All right, y'all, moving on. Last Thursday, Usher was bobblehead night in Atlanta for Usher at the Braves game. He was honored at Truist Park that night where he threw the ceremonial first pitch. Now, the first 1,500 fans got limited edition Usher bobbleheads featuring his iconic Peace Up, A-Town Down gesture, and Usher also debuted a co-branded Usher by Braves merchandise collection. Those were also activities. The DJ also ended up playing his hits, and a food truck served the dishes inspired by his music, all while highlighting Usher's influence on Atlanta's cultural identity. Here's Usher before the game as he was autographing his bobbleheads.
Right at the park, got some good food, new bobbleheads. It's official. You see this? It's Usher baby bobblehead. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. There it is. Get it. Y'all better get them.
Gary, you need to get some bobblehead dolls.
I know.
That would be cute for you, Gary.
A nice little bobblehead, yeah.
And then it make a noise when you press the double chin. Leave that pause. So I'll put the double chin in there. And then you press it.
No.
What kind of sound?
What would the noise
it gives
be?
the color of the day.
Oh, yeah.
What's the color, baby?
Yeah, when you press the trigger, baby. Right.
I'm going to work on that now.
Oh, my goodness. For more information on these stories and more, you can go to RickySmileyMorningShow.com. You can catch me on all my social media at Brat. Coming up, we got Marc Morial, the president of the National Urban League. He has a message for Black America. And we got the praise mix down with the White Stone. The time now is 27 minutes before the top of the hour. It's the Rickey Smiley Morning Show.
All right, y'all, this is Monday, time for the State of Black America. And this morning, we have the current president of the National Urban League, Marc Morial. Hey, good morning, Mr. Marc. We're happy to have you, and I know there's a lot going on in Black America.
Good morning, Ricky. In 2020, the Department of Defense took a long overdue step, starting a process to rename military bases that bore the names of Confederate generals, men who fought to preserve slavery and divide the Union. This was not a symbolic gesture. It was a deliberate act to honor the values of unity, equality, and democratic service. Now, under the Trump administration, can you imagine? There are reports that the Department of Defense is considering reverting to Confederate names. That would represent a moral failure, a capitulation to revisionist history, the weaponization of nostalgia, and an endorsement of white supremacy. These bases, Fort Bragg, now known as Fort Liberty, Fort Hood, now known as Fort Cavazos, they were renamed not to erase history, but to correct the record. Let's be clear. Confederate names do not reflect Southern heritage. I'm a Southerner. They reflect a legacy of terror, racial rebellion, and treason against the United States Constitution cloaked in mythology. This would be a bad move. You and I must weigh in. Let the Congress know at 202-224-3121. And I'm asking you a lot to make those calls, but those calls truly count. At 202-224-3121, speak to your member of the House and your member of the Senate and say, do not restore Confederate names on military bases. Do not restore Confederate names on military bases. Black America, our friends and allies, we must weigh in on these very important issues. So we call today on the administration and the Department of Defense to stand firm. Do not reverse course. Do not dishonor the generations of American troops, white, black, Latino, Native, and Asian Americans who served under the American flag. They did not serve under the Confederate flag. I'm Marc Morial. Once again, this is the State of Black America. Follow me across all social media at Marc Morial and at Nat Urban League. And I'll see you next week on the radio.